My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Before Midnight. And if you've been watching my reviews for this franchise, it seems odd to call this trilogy a franchise, but it is. So, anyways, you would know that I loved the first movie. The second movie I liked, but it's tainted by the fact that Jesse is emotionally cheating on his wife the entire movie and leaves her to be with Celine, and it's completely romanticized. I'm not a fan of that. So I was skeptical about this movie, but I actually feel like this movie made every right decision. Like, it doesn't shy away from what Jesse has done in the past. In fact, this movie fully embraces it, and we see how he deals with the ramifications of his actions. That they don't exist in a vacuum. They affect him, they affect his wife, they affect his ex-wife, all of his kids. Like, it affects everyone. And I really felt the weight of that. And I feel like this movie did hold him accountable to a degree. It doesn't romanticize what he did. In fact, it just shows how it further complicated his life. And it just highlights the messiness of life so perfectly. There are no clear answers, and it's not easy. You're just trying to figure things out, and there's conflict, and it's just one big old mess, but it just is what it is. And I feel like this movie is about just accepting it. Like that all your past actions have consequences, and that as you grow older, you will have to deal with it more and more. And I just thought the movie did a very good job with that. And it's so weird when you see Ethan Hawke and Julia Dupley again, because like 9 years have passed, and this time it definitely looks like it. And it just feels like they have lived a life. And I really like that aspect of these movies in Boyhood. Richard Linklater does a good job of dealing with time. And this movie is incredibly well directed. There are a few one-shot sequences where I'm like, it's still going. Like, this isn't just a few lines of dialogue. This is pages of dialogue. Just very impressive. I also loved the music by Graham Reynolds. I feel like it added some nice emotion, and it added a very pleasant feeling to this movie. I also love the setting of Greece. It's just brought to life in such a beautiful manner. And Ethan Hawke, I think, is terrific here. He brings a lot of humanity to this character, and he always feels authentic. And then you've got Julia Dupley, who I think is just incredible. The fact she was never nominated for playing this character is just insane to me. Like, she is so good. She is so charming and likable and irresistible, but she also feels like a fully realized human. She brings emotion when it's needed, and their relationship feels authentic as ever. We're not in the stages of Before Sunrise where it's all sunshine and lollipops. No, like, they're adults now. They have kids. These these people have changed, and you really feel that. They feel grown up. And I think it's reflected in how they talk to each other. And I I just thought this movie felt raw. It felt honest. It felt authentic. Just everything between these two characters, and how later on in life, when you're married, like, things get complicated. You'll have fights you don't want to have. You might say things you'll regret, and at the end of the day, you still love each other. It's just a lot more difficult. And I thought the movie just showcased that so perfectly. And the way this movie ends, it's so simple. It's just a few lines of dialogue, but just emotional gut punch. Just honestly, like, yeah. Um, I, if I had to talk about my issues with this movie, is it's not the movie so much, but they do talk down about being a housewife, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. It does annoy me when Hollywood looks down on wanting to stay home and make a nice home for your kids. But that's more so the character of Celine. It's just a very small nitpick. This movie is like 20, 30 minutes longer than the other ones, and I did feel it in times. And I think that's it. Like, this is a great movie. Like, it's just so fully realized in what it's trying to say about life and love and how complicated it can be. And it just feels authentic all the way throughout. Brilliantly directed, incredible performances. And I'll give this movie a 8 out of 10. Okay, have you seen Before Midnight? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin, out.